Everybody, and for today's recipe we're going to need all these things here because it's everybody's favourite pizza. So first of all we need to make the base. Now I'm going to cheat a little bit here and I've actually got a packet mix for the pizza base, and all you do with this is you add some warm water, but if you can't get hold of this then you can make your own with plain flour, some dried yeast, and add a bit of olive oil to it because that's what makes it pizza base rather than just normal bread. And if you can't get yeast, there are other things you can use, including things like live yogurt or even just bicarbonate of soda. But do have a bit of a Google if you are stuck for ingredients and see what the alternatives are. So I'm just going to pour the mixture into the bowl, and then I've got measured out here some water. It needs about 100 mils of warm water, and it must be just lukewarm, not hot, not so hot that it tingles your finger when you put your finger in. I think that's about right. It's just lukewarm. There's a bit too much in here, so I must be careful I don't put it all in. I put about 100 mils in. How's that? Let's just try that, and I'm just going to mix it with a spatula just till it's all there we go. Perhaps a little bit more. You can't be too accurate with the water. You have to sort of just see how it goes. It depends on how absorbent the flour is. It depends on how humid the room is that you're working in. All sorts of reasons. So even if it says 100, you might need a bit more. Whoops. You might need a bit less. So I think I need a little bit more. Just a touch more. There we go. And then what you want is a nice smooth dough where it's all coming together, because what we don't want to do is to have to add more flour because it will upset the balance with the yeast and it won't necessarily work properly. So I've got that a little bit too wet, so I am going to sprinkle a bit of flour. There we go, just to dry. I don't want it too sticky. And then you need to knead it. You knead it for a few minutes until it's, at the moment you can see it's all a bit lumpy and a bit uneven textured. You want it to be nice and smooth. So I've been kneading this for about 5 minutes, and as you can see it's a lot smoother now. That rough texture's gone, and all I've done is I've just been stretching it. You want it to be more elastic so that the gluten in the flour is actually working to enable it to turn into bread. So what I need to do now, just tidy it up a bit, and I'm going to put it back in the bowl. I'm going to pop a lid on, and I'm going to put it in a warm place for about 20 minutes or so till it doubles in size, because that's the proving process to make it grow so that we can make it into bread. So while the bread dough is proving, we can prepare the topping for the pizza. And the beauty of making your own pizza is you can put whatever you like on there, whatever flavourings, whatever ingredients you like. And just a thought, I just had another thought, if you can't get the flour or the pizza dough, you can buy the bases already made, or if you can't even find one of those, why not just get a normal basic sort of margherita pizza, cheese and tomato pizza, and then dress it up yourself with your own ingredients. But obviously if you can, it's nice to do it all. So I've got some nice ingredients here. I've got some mushrooms, I've got a tomato, I've got mozzarella, of course, that's the classic cheese to go on a pizza. Got some olives. I know not everybody likes olives, but I do. So I'm putting, I've got some salami, some meat to go on there. So this is quite an exciting array of ingredients. So for the mushrooms, I'm just going to slice them. Just slice them into slices, which I can then sprinkle over my pizza. Quite a lot of mushrooms. Can you think of any toppings that you'd like to put on your pizza? Perhaps you'd like to drop them in the comments there, and next time we make one we can put those on. So there's the mushrooms. I'm going to, I'll do the olives next. I'm going to slice a few olives. I quite like olives. There we go, so we'll slice those. And these will just get sprinkled over the top of the pizza when it's ready. You could use black olives if you like black olives, or green olives I've got here. Doesn't really matter, I like them all. So there we go, put those in there, ready for the next stage. And then I've got my tomato, which I'm going to slice. Remember what I said in a previous video about having a sharp knife? If you've got a sharp knife, you know it's sharp because it cuts straight through the tomato. When you've got to stick the point in and try and make a mess there, cutting your tomato, you know your knife needs a bit of a sharpen. Okay, so I'm just going to cut a few slices of tomato, which again I'll be putting around the pizza. There we go, be careful. Slippery about now. See, it's slipping about, and because my knife's nice and sharp, I'm not going to cut myself. There we go, there's the tomato, and I've got my mozzarella here. I'm going to slice this into thin slices too and put those around the pizza. When it's ready, when I've rolled out the pastry, the bread, sorry, I'll have the other ingredients ready. So I've got my my salami, which I'll open up in a minute, and the topping that I'm going to put on it, which is made of some tomato puree and some oregano, dried oregano that I'm going to sprinkle over it. Okay, so that's the toppings prepared. So the dough's been proving for about half an hour, and as you can see, it's more than doubled in size. This is going to be plenty for our pizza. So I'm just going to ease it out of the bowl, and just need to knead it a little bit more. Just knock it back and give it a bit of a kneading, and then we can put it onto our baking tray to cook it. So there we go. So now I'm quite fortunate, I've got a pizza stone. If you haven't got a pizza stone, don't worry, you can just use a baking sheet. Yeah, so this is where we're going to obviously place the dough. Now you can do it all fancy and throw it up in the air and all that if you want to have a go at that. I'm not going to risk that because it'll end up on the floor or the dog will get it. So I just pressed it out slightly, and then I'm going to roll it with the rolling pin just to get it to the edges of the stone. So that's nearly at the edge, and you might have noticed that I have actually slightly oiled the stone and sprinkled a little bit of flour on it so that the pizza won't stick. I'm just going to stretch it slightly. We don't want to break it, but I want to get it right to the edge of the stone so that we can get as much topping on there as possible. And this is a thin pizza. If you want a thicker pizza, you might need to use double the quantity of the dough. But I'm stretching it a little bit because it's so stretchy, it's coming back on itself. So there it is, covering the stone. Now it's time for me to put the toppings on. So I'm going to put some tomato puree on the base. This is the easiest way I've found to actually get the base on there. There we go. This is just a tube of tomato puree. It's nearly all gone now. Use it all up on this pizza. There we go. And I'm just going to spread it around so that it gives a tomato base on our pizza. And then when I've got it all spread over the base, I'm going to put some herbs on there. Just sprinkle a bit of oregano on there to give it that authentic Italian flavour that's that you often get in pizzas and pasta dishes. Okay, so there we go. Put that on there. Don't waste any. There we go. And this is the oregano in the jar, just some dried oregano, just a little pinch, and I'm just going to sprinkle it over the base. Okay, if you don't like oregano, you don't have to put it on, it's just an option. All of these are optional, just whatever you like. So the next thing, I'm going to arrange the tomato around the pizza. And I should have mentioned, and I'm good at forgetting this, aren't I, is that you need to have the oven ready, and you need quite a hot oven to cook bread. I would say for the pizza maybe something like gas mark 6, which is about 200 maybe 200 degrees electric, and that should get it going. 6 or 7, you might need to experiment a bit with your oven. Then we're going to put the mozzarella around. There we go. That's going to melt nicely and make our pizza nice and cheesy. Just a bit of tomato there. And I've got the mushrooms, of course, so they're all going on. Like I say, whatever you like, put a bit of ham on there, perhaps if you like ham and pineapple, or a bit of tuna, put some sweet corn, sliced chicken, barbecue chicken, anything you like, whatever your favourite toppings are, just put them on there. Of course the olives, but again, not everybody likes olives, so if you don't like olives, don't put them on. Put whatever you like on there. There we go. And then finally I'm going to put my salami on there. And then I think I'll give it a little grating of parmesan. Just sprinkle a bit of parmesan on there. There we go. That's lovely. And then I am going to put this into my oven for about 20 minutes. So I've just got the pizza out of the oven, and there it is, perfect in every way. And all it needs now is for me to cut it, slice it up with the pizza cutter, and then we can have it for our tea. Thanks everyone, enjoy your pizza.